Oh, yeah, babe. That's what they want. They want us thinking that the length of time you've been single is a constant degradation of your value. They want us to think that we're worthless, that we are expiring like a yogurt you forgot about in the back of the fridge. They want us to feel small and worthless because that's the only way we'd be willing to settle for a man who requires his wife to do all of the emotional labor, all of the physical labor, and all of the mental load of running a household.
So you're telling me that if a woman is single, she doesn't have to do all of the labor involved in maintaining the place she lives in?
You're kidding, right?
Stop it. Get some help.
Sweetie, that woman either lives in the woods or she lives in a filthy house.
Oh, that's nasty.
But whichever the case may be, she can stay single.
Society attaches shame to singlehood if you're a woman because they want us to think that we are worth nothing, so that we will just absolutely say yes to any man who is willing to give us the time of day. I deserve a lot more than the time of day.
Lies!
I am great company.
Deceptions!
I always have been.
Every day, more lies.
And just because I've been single for 16 years...
What?
And just because I've been single for 16 years...
Bruh.
Sweetie, 16 years of no man wanting to be with you long term means the company is in fact not great.
That doesn't mean that I'm worthless. It means I haven't met a man that is worth me.
Or maybe you met a lot of those men, but they decided you're not worthy of them.
You have been weighed, you have been measured, and you have been found wanting.
I was today years old when I found out that guys have to go into their doctor monthly to get their foreskin trimmed, just like a monthly haircut. And frankly, I'm pretty outraged at the American school system. Like, these are the things that kids need to be learning.
That's not fair! That is not fair! Don't fall for it. Don't fall for it. It's all a front. But I've been her. I think we all have. Gone through those breakups where we're laying in bed feeling like we've been ran over by a truck. Meanwhile, we peek through the blinds and we see our ex running in these streets trying to make it easy to replace us. It's all a front. The way the mind and like body chemistry works, you cannot replace, or you can't replace anybody, but detach from somebody that quick.
Copium. I can smell the copium. Hey, it is okay. We don't always get our way, but ease up on that copium.
It's not the way it works. So whoever they're with
Is probably a lot better than you were.
Can you think of any laws that give government the power to make decisions about the male body?
The military draft.
I'm happy to answer a more specific question, but
Male versus female.
What?
Male versus female.
You know, that was an interesting question you asked Brett Kavanaugh. But in the spirit of fairness, there's another question that needs answering.
Can you provide a definition for the word woman?
Can I provide a definition?
Mhm.
No,
Yeah,
I can't.
you can't?
Not in
Okay.
this context.
So you
I'm not a
believe the meaning
biologist.
Well, I'm glad we cleared that up. Let's move on.
there are medical procedures.
Okay. That the government has the power to make a decision about a man's body?
I thought you were asking about medical procedures
No,
that are unique to men.
I'll repeat the question. Can you think of any laws that give the government the power to make decisions about the male body?
Well, allow me to repeat myself. The legislation that gives the government power to make decisions about the male body is the military draft. You know, That piece of legislation that gives the government and primarily the president the power to send men to war against their will. A piece of legislation that, even in today's age of gender equality, women are exempt from. Equality, am I right?
Pathetic.
Now, I know this might come as a shock, but most men, if not all men, don't want the government to use their bodies against their will as bullet sponges, or as target practice for Russian drones, or even just as a tool for whatever person is currently the president to impose his or her politics, either externally or domestically, by use of military force. Because hey, my body, my choice, right?
Nope.
By the way, the military draft had already been legally binding in the US for 197 years before Roe v. Wade was decided in 1973. And you know what I found interesting when I researched this topic? In the modern era, which starts from about the 1900s up until today, the draft has been implemented 4 times in the US. First, during the First World War under President Woodrow Wilson. Second, during the Second World War under President Franklin Delano Roosevelt. Third, during the Korean War under President Harry Truman. And the last time it was implemented was during the Vietnam War by President John F. Kennedy and continued by President Lyndon Johnson. You know what all of these presidents have in common other than all of them implementing the draft? Let me know your thoughts in the comments section. Now, considering the current state of warfare in the world, I truly hope that the next president of the United States will choose diplomacy, not draft.
And that's the bottom line, 'cause Stone Cold said so.